2 weeks. Two weeks away from the big day itself, that being the Kings Plate. Very much looking forward to that. Some Kings Plate participants had some works this morning here at Woodbine, and we'll keep an eye on the quest for the plate as we get ever so closer to the big race itself. In terms of today, 3 races coming your way of the stakes variety, 7 undercard races on what should be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome one, welcome all to Woodbine Racing Live, and this is the Saturday broadcast. My name is Jeff. I'm usually joined by my good friend Elisa. Elisa right now is probably doing this on the steering wheel. She's stuck in traffic, and I guess there was an issue on the QEW, and thus she is a little bit late, but better today than in 2 weeks' time. If she was late on plate day, I might have a couple of selective words for her, but she'll be with us as soon as she gets here. So Lisa, if you're listening, I hope you're not watching because you're driving. If you're listening, just 2 hands, 10 and 2. Do they still teach that? Because I heard with the airbag thing now, it's no longer 10 and 2. But anyways, back in my day when I learned to drive, it was 10 and 2. Just listen to the radio and just take your time. We got you covered here on this edition of Woodbine Racing Live. So yes, very much looking forward to the stake races here today. Obviously, the inside turf course will not be in action. The E.P. Taylor turf course will be very, very busy. And what I love about today's card of racing is the fact that you've got these 2-year-old races that are for horses that went through the CTHS sale. It's a chance that you get to avoid some of the big guns coming out from the States, and they got a chance to go for $75,000. And we're going to catch up with a couple of people that have a very exciting homebred coming up a little bit later on in the program. Team Banak, who had a great day yesterday. In fact, let's recap what did take place yesterday, because favorites on the program, they won a grand total of 1 race. But Darren Banak had a terrific day at the office. He won 2. Rafael Hernandez won 2. Daisuke Fukumoto, he won a couple of races, and the average win payout was $11.68. Whenever you can have a day at the track where the average win payoff is above $10, that's the way that I like it, because nobody likes it when favorites are like 7 for 9 on a program. So certainly if you like some price plays along the way, you had some success. It's not like we had any crazy prices. We had 3 5-to-1 shots and 2 6-to-1 shots on the program. So kind of those middle prices were able to have good days at the office. Now, in terms of this morning, I spoke of the fact that we had some Kings Plate participants working this morning. I know the filly No Time, she worked. DeWolf worked as well. But a horse that grabbed the attention of Ernie Perry is Sunday's Well. Now, that name might not ring a bell to you, but Sunday's Well ran first time out and didn't show all that much, but second time out got one of the best buyer speed figures that any 3-year-old has gone this season at Woodbine. And it looks like Sunday's Well is really building on that race and had a big work this morning, going in 58 seconds breezing. Ernie thought the inside was good. The times were a little bit slower, and he thinks the best wagering race on the program is race number 10 on the card. I would tend to agree with that. That is a loaded race on the E.P. Taylor turf course. And my horse, I picked post position number 14. I'm way, way, way on the outside in that race. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on the program. So thanks to Ernie for always giving us what he thought of the morning activity. And we'll keep an eye on that Terry Brooker horse, as that one will be having, I imagine, maybe a stakes debut next time out, based on how well the horse ran in that most recent race. So let's get to our countdown portion of the broadcast in here. And this is where our producer, Mike, says, you know what, Jeff, we're going to cut down how much you can talk. Everybody knows that I like to talk, and sometimes I'm told that I talk too much. So let's go with these time constraints that have been set. We've got 2 minutes that we can talk about race number 1 on the program, and we do have a stake race or a replay that we're going to focus in on coming up in this particular event as well. Now, the morning line favorite is Aim Don't Miss. Well, I shouldn't say the morning line favorite. The current favorite is Aim Don't Miss, coming off a good run last time out when finishing 3rd and against Lasting Silence. Now, this one was in the slower split of a race, but Lasting Silence came back to win on yesterday's program and did so at odds of 5-to-1. Now, the one that's had the very busy schedule is Living in the Fast Lane. Living in the Fast Lane ran on July the 4th, came back after that, ran on July the 19th. This can be the 3rd start in a month for this one. Now, last time, what impressed me was after the start that we're going to show you right now, in which we get sandwiched and kind of pinballed a little bit. Whoa, that wasn't so good. So now, poor Jalen Samuel saying, man, now we're kind of really up against it. But watch how this horse recovers from this as we get to a later portion of the replay in here. And what I love is, despite the fact that we get kind of pinballed, the horse does not get unsettled by any means. And this was a bit of a speed-conducive racing surface. The horse that wins it is just now getting to the front, and this is Benny Jets. And that was a Matini horse. And now we're eventually going to swing towards the outside. It seemed to me like living in the fast lane, it kind of took him a little while to he's a little unsure of things right now. He's like, well, do I split right now this portion of the race? No, I got to swing towards the outside. And right now he kind of looks like he's kind of lost his sorts a little bit, but now the strike it's back going right now, and now he gets back in a more fluid motion, which I kind of like. And the winner just had such an experience edge, and lived in the fast lane. I thought did very, very well to finish in the second place position. The only concern I have is the schedule, because as I said, this is a young horse, and this is going to be the third start in a month. But the way that the Devin Gittins barn's going right now, I'm just going to keep riding this train and see if we can't have some success with living in the fast lane. Now, Elisa, she's going to go towards the 5. That is Knowing. And Doug's going to go towards the 6, and that is Imperial Gold. I don't know what to do with Imperial Gold. I love the way the horse ran first time out. I was all over him because of that in his most recent race, and he never fired, and all of a sudden we're in for just $14,000. You got a rider change to Pietro Moran. I think Imperial Gold's a massive question mark coming up in race number 1. Could win by 5 and could finish 7th in this race. I just don't know what to do with Imperial Gold coming up in race number 1 on the card. Now, I have graduated on a couple of occasions in my life. It was a struggle, but I did graduate, and we're going to celebrate some CTHS grads coming up a little bit later on the program in race number 5. This race is for the boys, and we're going to go 5/8 of a mile, and I love what the CTHS committee has done. It gets a chance for these horses that have gone through the sale. So as I said, you don't have to face like those Justifies or those horses that sold for like $700,000 down to Keeneland. You get a chance to kind of face more restricted company in a race like this, and this might be a stepping stone, potentially, for the yearling sales coming up in the not-too-distant future as well. So let's touch on the field here coming up in the 5th. Now, I picked the 5 King Rona. We're going to catch up with one of the breeders of this horse, Erica Smolovsky, and she's got kind of a cool story to tell about this one. They ran the mare, Samurai Queen. She was one that had a lot of quirks, and this one is by a sire that Darwin trained, that being Town Prize, but I think this one's got a shot. Quadzilla is from the same family as Junior Hotshot and Benny Jets. We just saw the replay with Benny Jets. So Quadzilla obviously has got a real nice family. Making His Mark is improving, and I don't think this is a big move up in class for that one by any means as well. Silent Mort shows up as a first-time gelding. You gotta always respect Dale de Rousseau. He's got the 7, that being Highway to the Moon. That's a Ransom the Moon out of a mare that never did run, and that one was an RNA. And then you've got I would love to know, I got to catch up with Sue and figure out what led to the name of the horse Duck, Duck, Duck. Wasn't it Duck, Duck, Goose? I don't know, but Sue always likes to kind of throw me off with the name game. But anyways, Duck, Duck, Duck. Maybe it's a dodgeball term. I don't know. But anyways, Duck, Duck, Duck. First time started by silent name. So those CTHS graduates get a chance for a purse there of $75,000. Topic number 3. Now, this might be the most difficult topic that we're going to focus in on today, and this is the Sweetbriar 2. This is a tough race. Really, really tough race. Miguel Clement is very well represented with Don't Look Back at All and Loon Cry. Loon Cry is a defending champion. Don't Look Back at All. If this was back this time last season, I would pick the horse and just turn the page. But she's kind of gone off form a little bit in here. And I thought, well, maybe getting onto Lasix here today might get her back on track. But she was actually on Lasix all the way back in 2023 for a couple of races at Presque Isle. And so it's not like she's not run with that medication in the past. So I don't think Lasix is going to really move her up all that much. You have the French bred, that being Oujda, who we looked at yesterday on the show. Apparently this is a big horse. William Walden caught up with our Chris Lohman, and they talked about the size of this horse. So I kind of like that. But I'm going to go towards Ready for Jam, or Ready to Jam, I should say. Now, Ready to Jam, you might look back at that last race and say, oh, it wasn't all that great. But if you peel back all the layers in here, anytime the horse goes beyond sprinting, there's problems. To me, she's a sprinter all day long. She ran terrific in the Royal North. She finished 2nd against Miss Tarts. She finished 3rd in a high-level allowance race at Churchill Downs. This is what she wants to do. And if she sees Like anything on the past performance page that's 8 furlongs or above, she's like, no thank you. 6.5, probably her best distance, so I'm gonna put that one on top. Elisa's gonna go towards the outside horse, that being Loon Cry. I like that Doug's taking a shot with the French bred. Anybody else that I want to toss around information about in here? I guess it's about it. Grand Motion could have a good day. He's got Queen of the Mud. That one's kind of been searching around for a stake race and was actually entering a race at Indiana Downs, but scratched out of that event and resurfaces in here. So good looking field there. And the Sweetbriar 2, that goes as race number 6 on the program. All right, let's see what producer Mike's got next. Determined, it says. Okay, well, I'm kind of curious about that. Oh, this is Determinedly. This is a good replay. So I'm trying to figure out with Determinedly, like, why are we here? I think we're here because I think Mark wants to see how he handles the synthetic. If he handles the synthetic well, it just opens up a lot of doors. Now, he got a beautiful rail trip last time out, but then the eventual winner makes it really, really tight all the way down the lane. So watch the one in here, and this is Determinedly. So this was back on June the 8th at Saratoga. Now they're going to switch camera shots in here. We're going to lose the one here for a couple of seconds. But don't worry, we're going to get the horse back. And the rail just opens up, light the waist on the front end, under a bit of a ride right now, and that's the eventual winner. But watch our horse here, the gray. Like the rail just opens up like the Red Sea. But watch, Kendrick Carmouche is riding Light the Way, and watch how Kendrick makes it so tight on this inside horse without, though, you know, without causing any problems or breaking any rules or anything like that. But you can tell this horse, it's going to come up right here. It's getting really, really tight, and it's going to get tighter and tighter. Like, this horse is trying to go by, but I think it's a little bit intimidated right now and just can't, like, look how tight that is on the inside. Just, I just think Determinedly, you know, he was in there and he's like, I'm going to run, but I'm not sure I'm so comfortable about the situation that I'm in here. And I just thought it was a really good ride on the winner and a good ride on this horse as well. But I just think Determinedly was somewhat intimidated by how the race unfolded in there. I think the horse is in store for a good race. Fly the W, a synthetic specialist that gets a drop down in class. I kind of like the fact that Doug's going towards Warcourt because Warcourt's missed some time and could be even better here a second time off the layoff. Oh, there's Robert with Warcourt. Look at the face on Warcourt. Look at that marking. That's fantastic. The white goes all the way over the right eye and all the way over the right nose as well. And even Robert's got some white. I'm not talking about the t-shirt. I'm talking about the hair. That's a cool shot, though. Warcourt's really a really fun horse in there. And Last Dawn's going to take a lot of money. And you know who's back in here is Harlan Estates. This one was here, ran in the Breeders, the Prince of Wales, and the Plate, and was purchased out of a digital sale in January and getting back in the mix of things. Jayhawk's a bit of an interesting horse coming off the layoff. And Duke of Love in for just $50,000. Oof, that's a bit of a scary proposition for me. I'm going to probably stay away from Duke of Love here today. But a cool picture there with Warcourt and with Mr. Robert Geller. Let's get to the Niagara now as we get set to go 1.25 miles. Now, I was kind of banking on Lac Macasa going in this race. I was going to pick Lac Macasa, the defending champion, but they elected to go in the Seagram. Stanley House installed as the favorite, odds of 3-1. Now, one thing I love about working here at Woodbine, there's a lot of things I love about it, but the one thing that I love is just when you get surprises, like maybe horses come over and they look a little bit different, or you get like some performances that just make your jaw drop a little bit. But what happened last time out, when this horse came to the paddock, he had a really significant bid on this horse, and it's given to horses that have problems laying in, lugging in, very difficult to steer, and this horse ran terrific with this new bit. And Stanley House right now just looking for somewhere to go. And not only did Stanley House run well on this day, but what happens is this was a real speed-conducive racing surface. Like, nobody was really making up a lot of ground. And don't forget the winner of this race, Fantastic Again. You know, this is a pretty nice horse. Got a lot of backlash, and Fantastic Again just finds that extra gear. And poor Stanley House, he can't buy a stakes win. He's trying. He runs a terrific race in here. He's going really, really nicely at the end of the race. He's not lugging in or anything like that, so the bit worked. And you know, hopefully for Stanley House's sake, he's able to kind of keep it together. He has a beautiful gallop out in here. Now, is he a turf horse? That's a legit question. He's going to start for the 3rd time on the grass. I think he'll be fine. I think more than anything, he just wants the distance, and he gets the distance. I've scratched onto the 12 now, way on the outside, and this is one now. It's going to go postward for Grand Motion. the draw's an absolute killer because of where they start here, going a mile and a quarter. But in his North American debut in the Monmouth race, he finished third, and the winner came back to win the United Nations. And we get more ground to work with here today. Now we get on to Lasix. If Munger can engineer some sort of trip, I think it's going to help out. Now, why I am so concerned about the draw here, so when they go that mile and a quarter, I'm way on the outside, and you've got that hairpin turn that happens really quick. So Ryan might be 5 wide going down the backside, just trying to save ground. If Ryan can save any type of ground at all, I think that this horse at last that might be able to pull off the victory there coming up in the Niagara. And speaking of Ryan, he's going to have the headliner coming up in race number 9 on the program. And this is the Seagram Cup. It goes as a grade 3 event at a mile and a 16th. Now, Dresden Rowe, you know, they were kind of trying to figure out how to start the horse's campaign. Entered a bunch of different times, won a turf race on the inside course, then it got really hot, they scratched, so then they went to the Highlander. He ran not bad. That was that wild race that was won by Patches of Houlihan, and Dresden Rowe eventually finished in the 3rd place position. But I really think this is what Dresden Rowe wants to do, is go long on the synthetic, and gets a chance to do that. And I just think, you know, with there being pace in this race with Paramount Prince, who I don't think is at his best right now, Essex Serpent might show a little bit of speed. I think that Dresden Rowe is absolutely in a fantastic spot to win this event here. Swift Delivery, you know, the thing that's interesting about Swift Delivery is the rider, because Patrick always rides Paramount Prince, and now he goes towards Swift Delivery. So I think that tells you a little bit about the status of Paramount Prince. Just might not be at his A+ game right now. Others in this race that might be able to surprise a little bit in here, you know, Essex Serpent, when he's good, he's really, really good. He wasn't as good last time, but it was a bit of a disappointment. Bail Us Out, he's close. That's the 3. He's going to have to step up his game to win this race. Lac Macasa, Drexler always dangerous off the claim. Classic Motown, already a stakes winner so far this season, but not all that surprising to see many of us going towards Dresden Rowe here. I just think he's absolutely sitting on a beautiful race. And you know what, too? If you watch the replay from the Highlander, because there was so much focus on Patches and My Boy Prince in that race, just watch Dresden Rowe if you get a chance to look at that replay and how hard he's trying. He just can't quite get there, because I don't really think 6 furlongs on the grass is necessarily his thing. So I think it was a means to an end. It was a stepping stone. It gets them to the point where they are right now, and that's a chance to go around 2 turns and probably what he wants to do best, that being the Seagram Cup. So all the best to Ryan Munger. Couldn't have a hotter rider going right now than Ryan with a Dresden Rowe coming up in race number 9. Okay, let's talk about Jackpot High 5 now, because this is a tricky race. I got a little bit confused. I thought there was carryover in both the Pick 6 and the High 5, but it's just the High 5. It's $59,924.76. Put Slade Jones on the 8, Lady Iona. We scratch the 5, the 15 draws in, the 16 is scratched. So we have 14 that are going to go on the starting gate, and this is going to be amazing. What a race. What a race. And I've landed on What Hot Mess. That's the number 14 in here. Rafael Hernandez will take over. So this one ran against Lady Iona in North York. Both those horses had a bit more of an experience edge on One Hot Mess, who had a bit of a wide trip and just kind of got a little bit tired late in that race when finishing in the 4th place position. But now we've got that tightener under our belts. I think that's going to go a long way. I don't mind Lady Iona. A good run last time. I just got picked off desperately late by Luna. The problem I have with North York, and this might be a little harsh, it's just the starts are starting to add up a little bit. So that kind of leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth when trying to handicap that one. What about the Cassie horse, the 12? That's one that you may want to give some consideration to as well. You know, we'll see what it materializes in here. 14, 8, and 9 for me coming up in this spot. The 2 Orient Beach is a bit of a question mark for me. I didn't know what to do with that one, so I'll put that one in the 5th place position on my ticket. But I think the 14, I'm picking some tough posts today. Holy smokes. One Hot Mess might be able to overcome that. You know, look at One Hot Mess, too. The horse is just bred for grass and long distance. English Channel out of a Kitten's Joy mare. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. So I'll go in that one's direction coming up in race number 10 on the program. I think I made it. I think I survived the first portion of the show. Will Lisa be here for the second portion of the show? I'm thinking not, but don't worry, I've got you covered. When we come back, we've got Plays of the Day, Clock of Horses. We'll talk about the CTHS sale. We'll talk about jockeys and trainers as well.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
There's a reason we use expressions like storybook season in sport. For over 160 years, the King's Plate has played out like an enchanted fairy tale. It's Canada's most prestigious horse racing event, where elegance meets excitement and tradition meets celebration. King's Plate, Canada's race. Be part of the spectacle, be part of the legacy. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now at kingsplate.com.
More than just a race.
One of the great sporting traditions in this country.
It's part of our culture.
A huge crowd this afternoon.
An iconic day about royalty, fashion, and passion.
A magnificent lineup.
A truly magical equine display.
And they're off in the King's Plate.
He's running his eyeballs out.
She's as great as they come.
What a race!
With one to rule the day. Watch the 166th King's Plate, the first leg of the OLG Canadian Triple Crown.
Oh, the CTHS sale. It is not too far away, as a matter of fact, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It will take place on Wednesday, August 27th. Here's a look at some of the horses on today's card of racing that have some siblings that are going to go through the auction ring. Okay, which one do I want to buy in here? Well, those all look pretty good. A lot of big screens. Wow, look at that. 1, 2, 3 big screens. Those are horses that have siblings coming up in race number 3. Let's get to the 4th. Yorkton, he's starting to pick up some steam around here. Serenading Kitten's got a full sister. So Mort's got a full sister. You know, the super speedies. Erica Smolowski and Darwin Banak. I might have to buy that one. King Ronan's half. The late super speedy. Just such a shame that we lost him. Highway to the Moon but as a half to Cupid. What else do we got? Is there another page? Where's that at? Oh, there is more. Paramount Prince, yeah, that one's gonna go for some money. Don't think I can afford that one. That's a half brother by Silent Name. Black Makaza's got a half by Shaman Ghost. And look at Orient Beach. That must be the last crop of Spitestown, I would think. And that's hip number 109. I gotta get my catalog. Gotta do some shopping. Do you know what? I would be like a total wreck buying a horse in an auction. Like, I don't know what these people do. Like, some people are so cool about it. I would just be like, well, I'd be nervous selling and nervous buying too. Like, I just can't imagine the nerves, but it's a fun day. So come check it out and get involved. That's what it's all about. Plays of the day. Okay, we have those. Let's see who's gonna go first. Is it gonna be me? It is me. Okay, so my price play, I don't think this is gonna be a horse that's going to be all that much of a price coming up on race number 2. And that's the 6, Super Zonda. You know, the works are really good on this horse, but what the horse has done to this point, My long shot's ready to jam. My newcomer to Woodbine is Determinedly, and my best bet of the day is one by the name of Dresden's Row coming up in race number 9. See, I look at this graphic every day and I think to myself, I could possibly go 4 for 4, and then it doesn't happen. There's Elisa, not in her car. Her X Factor comes up in race number 1, that being Knowing, who right now is at 5-2. Her family connections, the junior hotshot connections with Quadzilla. Grab the bit. I see what Elisa did there. She likes the change of gear there with Stanley House and ready to go with Dresden Row. Look at Elisa playing to win, exactas. Holy cow, she's got everything going on there. Okay, let's see what about Doug and what about Woodbine TV Prod and Ron. So Ron's got Ready to Jam as his best bet. Ron, let's go. I love it. Ready to Jam. Let's get that one. Oh, that's a good best bet at 12-1. Woodbine TV Prod, he or she or the AI says that their Beat the Fave is going to be Never Surprised in race number 8. And me and Doug with Dresden Row as well. Okay, I like it. We've got everything covered in there. That's good. That's good. I like it. I need to put some paste in here or some makeup, a little shiny. This bucket's a little shiny too, but we won't talk about that. Let's take a look at workout information. We've got a couple clocker horses, courtesy of one Ernie Perry. Had the pleasure of chatting with Mr. Ernie Perry this morning. Ooh, look who makes it on. Supersonic, work with Jayhawk. That's interesting. Coming off a break with first-time Lasix and did work first time out on the turf, so I like that. And Warcourt, there's a picture of Warcourt and that white all the way down his right nose and right side of his nose. Last start was off 2-year layoff and thinks this horse is fit enough. And you know what, Ernie? It's Ron Sadler. That's all you got to know, because all he does is win races and win races at good prices. You know, it's funny that producer Mike said, let's take a look at some stake standings in here, because I was actually looking at the back of the program this morning while I was waiting on the changes to try and figure out, you know, who's had the most success. Jockey-wise, Rafael Hernandez has done amazing in stake races. We'll take a look at both jockeys and trainers for you right now. Yeah, look at Rafi. Now, Sophia, she got off to a terrific start. She won a whole bunch of them early on. Pietro's won 3, and Nez won 4. He's won a couple of stakes too. So, but if you bet Sophia, I mean, you've had a great ROI, $3.04, and she's doing so well right now. Trainer-wise, Mark Hasse actually got off to a slow start with his stake races here at Woodbine, but now he's starting to make up for lost time. Bob Tiller there, and we got Marty, and we got conditioner Kevin Attard as well. So not all that surprising when it comes to the trainers in terms of who you'd expect to be there when it comes to these stake races. So that's a look at our standings for jockeys and trainers. 25 minutes away from race number 1 here at Woodbine. The horses have just arrived for race number 1. What will happen first today? I pick my first winner, or Elisa shows up. Might be a good over-under bet. We'll try and figure that out. Race number 1 coming up in 25 minutes. Best of luck from all of us right here at Woodbine.